This is Jonathan Agatha for Pro Boxing Fans, joined by Johnny Nelson here in London. Just announced Ben Whittaker signed with Boxer and Sky. Johnny, how excited are you for this signing?
Oh, really excited. What an opportunity what a springboard for a young fighter coming through. You know, I walked in here, I thought we were going to be interviewing about 4 or 5 fighters, the setup they've done. We're in East London in some cool little ghetto dump. Rim set up, all the presser here, and Ben actually, he milked it. He milked it. He wasn't intimidated by it. He actually thrived in it. He wants you to dislike him. He wants you to either praise him or hate him. He wants that. He's got a chip on his shoulder. I like that. He's got to back up the boast. He's got to make bold predictions to get your attention. He's done everything right. So he's a promoter's dream. He's a PR man's dream as well. You know, this guy was wanted left, right, and centre from promoters here in the UK and promoters overseas as well. So there must be something about him. As a fighter, it's not just about being a good fighter. It's about you being a salesman as well. You've got to sell what you do.
How much of him have you seen, and what can fans expect, or will it be new for you as well seeing him?
I watched his performances in the Olympics, and let me just say goodbye to this young man here. I watched his performances in the Olympics. In fact, come here. Alright, this young man is fighting his first white collar fight. Recognise the face, look at that good looking little devil. His first white collar
Hopefully
fight.
it stays like that.
Yeah. Next Thursday.
Next Thursday.
In London. Next Thursday, yeah?
Tell us a bit about it.
Tell us, go on.
My name's Michael. You might know me from Love Island, you might not. If you watch it, you watch it. If you don't, you don't. And I just thought it's a nice way to challenge myself, obviously do something for charity as well. So, yeah.
What advice is Johnny Nelson giving you?
Said, hit and don't get hit.
That's it. Love the sport, enjoy yourself, relax yourself, and you'll be alright. So I'm going to be down watching him, and I'm looking forward to his little introduction, dipping the toe to the boxing world.
Just a little bit, and then dip out.
Is that it? One fight now?
That's it. One and done. 1-0.
Back to the island.
Yeah, one.
We'll kill that.
Everyone's here today, John.
They are here. You know what? I know Michael on a personal level, and dropped the suggestion to him. Said, "Come on, get in." His opponent's up there, man. I'm like, shit. And he said, "I want it. I'm thinking, mother of God.
You're going to be in his corner.
No, I'm not in his corner, but I'm going to be there cheering on. He's got so much bottle. It's mad. This guy wants to fight, and I'm thinking, I used to box, and I wouldn't even fight that guy. You know what I mean? But he's showed a good side to himself. He's trained really hard, excellent condition. He's talking a good fight. So and it's all for charity. It's for a breast cancer charity. So you know what? Good on him. I think he's putting his money where his mouth is, or vice versa.
Just back to Ben Whittaker, you said at the beginning about sort of, how he wasn't intimidated. Sometimes these first press conferences, it's not easy for a fighter to go in front of all the cameras. He wasn't phased at all.
No, not at all. You know what? And I actually think for Ben, for what he's doing and how he's handling it does remind me. I was around that coming through. I saw David Hay when he chipped out the training camp when in the amateurs. He said, "No, I ain't doing it." I think it was the Commonwealth or something like that. He did it his way. Ben's that fighter. He wants to do it his way, and he doesn't care what you think of him. He's picked a coach, and remember, if a coach is going to align himself with you, and a coach that got a good reputation, he's not going to dump himself with somebody that's garbage, because eventually it affects on him. You look good, I look good. You look bad, I look bad. So now Sugar Hill's like teamed up with him and saying, "You know what? I'm moving over here for you." So Sugar Hill's no fool, and so Ben, I like him. He's going to listen. He's going to get the criticism. He's going to get the praise. He's like Marmite. But either way, you're going to have go to watch him getting knocked out or watch him knock somebody out. I like the chip on his shoulder. I do.
Do you think he can be a box office star in the coming years?
I think what will put the icing on the cake is if he develops that knockout power. So if you're braggadocious and you're in someone's face and you can box and beat them up and knock them out, that'll make him a star.
Johnny, we heard news last week that Kell Brook announced his retirement. I know you said you wanted him to call it a day, so your reaction to that?
So happy that Kell made that decision. He's not made money as God. He was offered a lot of money to fight the likes of Eubank and Ben. He chose not to. He said, "No, I'm done." And not that he couldn't beat these guys, because I believe it was well within to do that. But in reality, he's got to think, is there anybody out there that's going to give me the motivation to train as hard as I did to turn back that time as I did against Amir Khan? And his answer is no. So he's done the right decision, and he's in that exclusive club of fighters that have walked away in love with the game. It's been his choice, and he's walked away with everything intact.
How do you think he'll be remembered? He's fought two of right now the pound for pound best welterweights, Spence and Crawford. Won the title against Porter. He fought Golovkin, and then you got the Amir Khan fight. How do you think he will and should be remembered?
So for people that are not mad boxing fans, he'll be remembered for beating Amir Khan. Amir Khan will be remembered for losing to Kell Brook. People forget what amazing fights these guys are in their careers coming up. We'll remember because we're in that boxing circle. Kell Brook could fight when he was on point, when he was on it. He could fight, and he took on big fights. He threw a wide Triple G, people like, and he went in there. He had bottle and he could box. Amir Khan exactly the same. Unfortunately, he had two fighters there, and someone had to win and someone had to lose. And whoever lost, it was going to be a living nightmare for them for the next few years. Because whenever they walk down the street, people will remember him for that last fight. And unfortunately, that person is Amir Khan, and he's going to have to live with that. Whatever excuse you say, I had a bad shoulder, I wasn't right, whatever, he's still got to have to live with it. Kell Brook was on the winning side, so he's going to think, you know what, I'm happy, I'm walking away. This could have easily been turned around. My question is this: who would have dealt with defeat better? I think Amir Khan would probably, I know it's hard, will probably deal with the defeat better than if Kell lost. But you know what, these guys have done amazing things for our sport. I want Amir to say the same thing. I want to say, I'm done. I did my best. I'm out of there. But that's Amir's call.
What do you think Kell will do next? Do you think he'll become a trainer, go into the punditry, or just go away from boxing completely?
Kell will do what he wants, which is a nice thing to be able to do. He'll do exactly what he wants. He's made a lot of money. He's left our sport on a high. He'll do exactly what he wants. He's not an idiot. His dad has taken care of him and his money, so Kell will be all right.
Johnny, talk to me about Dmitry Bivol's win over Canelo. Shocked as everyone else?
I thought it might be a bit too early for Bivol, but then Bivol showed a good big and beat a good little one. That's what happened. Taking nothing away from Canelo. I think Canelo has actually boxed better than that performance on Saturday. The rematch will be interesting because Bivol said, I'll step down to super middle if you want. So he's come up against somebody that's not intimidated, very capable of what he's doing, a good, strong, confident fighter. And what Canelo's done, Canelo has gone up. I think he's had 18 fights against champions of some sort. And Bivol said, no, you ain't playing that game with me. And Canelo just bit off more than he could chew.
What adjustments would he have to make in a rematch?
I don't know. When Canelo boxed Triple G the first time, I thought he has no idea what to do with it. Then he came and boxed him the second time. I thought, God damn! I thought this guy is on point. So I don't expect Canelo to be stuck for ideas and what to do next. He'll figure something out. What do I think of the result? I think the result is not a done deal. I think Canelo could come back and beat him. But I expect if it's at super middle, if it's at light heavy, no.
Do you think it's the best option for him, or do you think maybe he should fight Golovkin?
He's got too much pride to let this one slide, and so he'll want to right the wrong as far as he's concerned and have another go at it. And if it doesn't work, the Golovkin fight's still there.
Final question: will Tyson Fury stay retired, Johnny?
Hell no. No, he won't stay retired. I ain't buying it. I'm not buying it. I'm just not buying it. Nah, I'm not having it.
Some people say if Joshua wins the rematch against Usyk, he'll fight him, but if Usyk wins the rematch, he won't. What do you think?
Why? I think he'd beat Usyk. So why? Tyson Fury has proved he's the best heavyweight in the world. He's proved it. Regardless of who else is out there, he's proved he's the best heavyweight in the world. And so I think he'll fight again. Either one of them, he'll fight again.
All right, Johnny, thanks for talking to Pro Boxing fans. You'll be off to the Boxer Series this Saturday.
Looking forward to it. I've got a fight with Sheldon McDonald. He's my pick of the night. He's a boy I'm backing, so look out for him.
Are you managing him or advising?
You might not be old enough. Yeah. Used to be Charlie out of Charlie's Angels. Nobody ever know what he looked like. I'm Charlie.
Oh, that guy. Johnny,